A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286, Patricia and David, on an absolutely grim day here in New Zealand's North Island, particularly where we are at the moment, just north of Auckland at Gulf Harbour, where we have, actually the wind has dropped a bit. We woke up this morning, having woken up several times in the night, with a bit of clattering on the roof because two of our antenna guide wires had come loose. We have 9, so don't be worried. Hopefully the antenna will still stay vertical for this broadcast. But we've had tremendous amount of rain, and it is now the bar. This confounded system is just sitting there above Cape Reinga and not moving very fast. The barometer has gone down 6 since 10 o'clock this morning. It's now 1003, and it is just not moving very fast because it's stuck a bit with the anticyclone to our east. According to David, we've got 30 knots at the end of the peninsula at Tiri Martangi. We're quite sheltered here from our, thanks to our neighbours across the road who have lost a few panels from a deck cover, but they were looking for those this morning. 18 degrees though, it's not cold. It could be worse, but boy, there are flooded roads in Northland, there is power outages. It is just not very pleasant, and I do feel for the poor boat from the British Virgin Islands, Nutmeg, who, boy, everything they tried to do, they sort of got wind very poorly, and they are still offshore, trying to get in either to the Bay of Islands or Womberay. I don't know what they're doing now, but very difficult conditions for them. So we'll get on with the boats and see what's happening. I'm going to take our single hand up first, Narada, and then there will be Seawind, Yuva and Rosula. Narada, Gulf Harbour Radio. Nothing heard from Jan tonight. We'll try her again later, and we'll move to the very fast boat, Seawind, Gulf Harbour.
This is Seawind, leaving Patricia Davis, and I think your voice, a copy of very strong copy.
Yes, I've got good copy of you, and I've been following your progress. You certainly have wind for your very fast effort, but you're getting into some even stronger wind by the look of it. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, well, the conditions here are very sunshine at the moment. We have winds between, I would say, somewhere between 20 and 30 knots, average 25. Pretty strong steam rating at 16 northwesterly wind, and quiet. Coming from the same direction. I don't know if it's coming from north or whatever, but there's two nice rock calls around here, but not two of them. So anyway, so our position is 28 degrees, 30 minutes south, and 178 degrees, 24 minutes east. I'll copy.
Yes, very good copy, and it's interesting you commented on that swell. The picture in the paper is absolutely awesome for this rescue of the French boat. 8 to 10 metres they are getting, and quite a lot of damage down the coast with the swell. I would not like to be coming into a harbour like Tutukaka. I'm sure they've closed it, or Wongaroa for that matter. Big swells. Anyway, Seawind has now, we sort of worked out where you were with the satellite picture and looked at your nice blue sky, but you have 25 roughly plus or minus knots from the northwest and a very decent swell. Position 2830 south and 17824 east. Over.
Yeah, that's correct. And the barometer here for the moment is 1009 on the board. And we are going to make it on 6.5 knots in 195 degrees through. Over.
Okay, bar is 1009, and just looking at that, that's what we had this morning, I think. and 6.5 knots on a course of 195 true. All right, how are you off for weather? Do you need anything over?
Well, we are come down with a good time here after the net, but we think that to be a healthy for the far side of the sound, we're going to win for a while, it's going to swing more easily, and decrease to get a bit confused for the last couple of days before we arrive in New Zealand. So we have time to see what happens. Over.
Okay, I'll get David to give a summary after I finish with the other boats. Yes, this low, it is going to fall apart by Wednesday, so things will certainly not be as ferocious as they are at the moment. I'll just pass the microphone now.
Yeah, good evening, Lars. Moving you along tomorrow as you're entering more of the higher winds and this depression. So we're looking at northwest about maybe 19, 20, gusting up to 30. Sounds similar to what you've got right now. Now, this depression is being held up, as Patricia said, by the high to the east. Typically, it tends to track to the southeast, but it's really not able to do that because of this humongous high that's to the east, keeping it from going anywhere. But there's another high up to the northwest of the center of the storm, which, by the way, is about 3 degrees north of North Cape. That's the center, and that's about 3 hours ago. And I determined that by looking at the satellite imagery. Anyway, that high is going to push this depression almost south, maybe a little bit south-southeast. So by Wednesday, probably around breakfast time, it's gone. It pretty much gets filled by the highs around it. So your winds will dramatically decrease, dramatically. So just hang in there for another day, and you'll find out things are much more favorable. Over.
Right now, like, I'm just pretty much confident in fine, so yesterday they successfully but this is Boston, and I'm just happy with the right way for this stroke. That's where we can take my shower and the clean up here on board after talking about things, but you have to take it good with the map. So anyway, thanks for stay and see what will be on the side.
Yeah, it would certainly, with those rough seas, you wouldn't be doing much other than grabbing a muesli bar or whatever. I can't imagine there would be gourmet food on Seawind at the moment. Anyway, all right, but at least the end is nigh, as they say. All right, we'll clear with you both and go to Yuva Gulf Harbour Radio. Yeah, it's not too bad a copy tonight. That's good. Go ahead.
We got into North Manila after the 0900 in the morning. Our position is currently 23 degrees, 39 south, 178 degrees, 54 west. We are comfortable here and hearing about your one and dealer is for you, but it's at the moment we've got 16, 17 knots of wind from the northeast and are pretty comfortable already. So,
yeah, I saw you come in this morning and I thought, boy, I wish we had your condition. That is amazing. Oh well, I don't think I can remember it being this bad for quite some years. But anyway, we will just hope for a decent falling apart of this system in a couple of days, and then we'll probably start smiling again. Okay, the North Minerva sounds pretty decent, about 15 to 17 from the northeast, and I think this looks to be about half a dozen boats there. Is that correct, over?
Delta Radio, yes, we've got about 6 boats here at the moment. We're anchored along the southwest reef, which seems pretty good, and others along the sort of southeast reef, and others along the northeast reef.
Oh, that's good. All right. Well, good afternoon to those at Minerva, and thanks for giving us the report there. Okay, back to those at sea. Rosilla, Gulf Harbour. Ooh, not too strong, so keep it slow and I should be able to pick it up. Over.
But we're thinking about load sailing to try and catch up with the load kind of going away. We have a course over the road of 200 true. We have 10 to 13 knots from the west to the northwest. The swell is pretty big in here, but not too bad. It's 2.5 meters to the west. We have 10, 12 millibars here. 6%. Actually, it's quite a bit bluer out there. So say we have about 40% cloud cover. So it all is well. We still have to see that Saturday. We're sailing. Like I said, we're trying to catch up to that low. And we're also going to try and get into our current stream that we didn't see on
Okay, we have Rusula at 2601, 17904 east, 4.5 knots, 200 degrees true. They look as if they will motor sail soon to stick to the plan for arriving Saturday. 10 to 13 knots of northwest wind, 2.5 metres swell from the northwest, 1012, and 40% cloud cover. Does David have anything else? Probably just heard what he talked to last about. No?
It's just pretty much like Sealand.
Yeah, pretty much like Sealand, he says. Once you get down in a day or so. So, yep, all seems to be going well. And enjoy it. Over.
Oh, yeah, it's been a lovely day. It's been really quick and sailing up until fall and Tuesday. We kind of got into the eye between the shears systems, and then we're trying to catch up with the bigger one that's going to go underneath us by Wednesday. So, thinking about putting on the motor and trying to keep up with that, but we'll see. We might just go today. We had a really good day yesterday. We had 120 miles. 24 hours yesterday, so that's good. So we'll try and keep our course so we can get there on when we want to get there.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk to you again tomorrow night, see how it's going. And yeah, it's always good on this passage to use the motor when you need to. All right. Good evening to you both, you and Dawn, Craig, and we'll talk again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hang on, did you want the microphone?
Oh,
Well, hang on.
well, why not? Anyway, looking at Saturday, as I said, the depression has disappeared by that time, actually, Wednesday. So my guess is you're probably going to be motor sailing into Oakville or Marsden, or when you're going into. Models are a little bit iffy on wind direction, but could be near the Oakville area, westerly, but north of North Cape, it looks like the wind's turned, and I would say maybe southwest, almost southerly wind, but very, very light. So the wind direction is poor, but not much of it on Saturday. Over.
Good copy there, David. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're just trying to keep up with the flow now. And when you think about trying to follow some of these current streams,
The current streams.
seeing on
What about following the current streams?
Oh, the current stream. Well, the current is all over the place with this. I have not looked. We do have models for that, but I have not taken a look at them. But you can get south a little bit before the depression falls apart, which is Wednesday. I don't know if you'll be able to do it, but as you head further south and it stays where it is now, which it's doing, up until Wednesday, you certainly will get more wind and that'll enable you to sail a lot faster. But then once it disappears, though, then you don't have much at all. You'll have to deal with that. Over.
Yeah, we're ready for it. I still have lots of fuel from Mexico. Still all the way here, taking on very little fuel all the way here. So this will be our biggest fuel leaving Mexico. So we're ready for fuel, and we're going to get it for the next load comes around down there.
Well, that's a pretty good record then to still have fuel from Mexico. Yeah, just be cautious. Well, you won't really get into the real rough stuff that the others have got into, which is stirred up the whatever crap is in the fuel tank, so you won't really have to worry. But yeah, funny you should talk about the currents, because we've attempted from time to time, and the only time we've really used currents is around the equator. If we're wanting to go west or east to go into the northern hemisphere, and it sort of works there, but boy, down here you can have it for half a day and then it's the opposite direction. It's just really, really frustrating, and you just have to deal with it. All right, we'll clear with you guys and see if Jan is on frequency. Narida, Gulf Harbour. Oh, I've got good copy on you, Jan, and it looks quite peaceful up there as opposed to down here. Hope you've had a nice day. Go ahead. No, that's about it. Interesting. You will get. You probably. I'm not sure whether you're on to here. See, Uva in North Minerva. They've got the northeast wind there. It's only a couple of degrees different from you. Anyway, Narida is at 2119 south, 17633 west, 232 degrees true course at 6 knots, 11 knots of east northeast, and 40% cloud cover. 1013. Now, are you going to stop or continue on? Over. Have you not been in Minerva before? Over. Oh, goodness gracious me. And all those trips. Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to stop to say you've been there, done that, get the T-shirt. And all right, well, hopefully the timing will be right to get into North Minerva. All right, well, we'll talk to you again tomorrow, see how progress is, and you will be pretty close then, and we'll see what happens. All right, but it sounds like you've had an enjoyable day sailing, so that's good. All right, we'll clear with Jan on Narida. Is there anybody else for Gulf Harbour Radio? I think that was Sahula, because I recognise Lynn. Is that you, Lynn?
Yes, it's Lynn. Okay.
All right, I heard you were heading off today, this morning. So Sahula has left New Caledonia. I'd be interested to know what pass you went out, Lynn, but go ahead, and I hope Dave is fit and healthy. Over.
Yes, we're at 22 degrees, 51 south, 166, 35 east. We have roughly 15 minutes. So we have south west wind at the moment of about 7 knots. Over.
Okay, we have Sahula 2251 south, 16635 east. Now I got 7 to 8 knots. I need the wind direction and of course your course and speed. Over.
The wind direction southwest, 6 knots. Our speed is 4 knots. And
And the direction I presume is heading to New Zealand. So about 6 knots south-southwest. So all right, I presume you're going to be using the engine for a bit to get you clear and a bit further south. So how is David? Is he fully recovered? Over. Okay, well, hello to David, and glad that you guys are on the go again. And we will do our best to improve the weather back here in New Zealand, but you know all about what we have to put up with from time to time. All right, Lynn, we'll hopefully hear David on the air in the morning, and thanks for calling in. We'll keep track of you, and have a good night. Okay, we will clear with Sahula. Is there anybody else?
Just a quick mention, I just wanted to thank David for his good advice to us yesterday with coming in here and discussing Minerva. We managed to avoid the trouble that just before, but if we come in a half hour later, we would have ruined it. So thank you very much.
Well, that was really good timing. That's excellent. So, what he forgot to tell you was to make sure you had a lure out going through the entrance there, because you can catch a fish on a big toothpick, really. But he forgot to mention that. Well, that was very good timing. Well done. Okay. Well, that's about it, everybody. If there is nobody else, we will, if there is anybody else, now's your last chance to do a radio check or whatever. Otherwise, we'll leave you in peace. Hello, Lars. Go ahead.
I have a question. Have you heard anything about iron bars? What's the things there? Over.
No, I just had an email from the RCC, and they still haven't heard. What they do is they sort of talk to all their other RCCs, and they haven't heard. Excuse me, choking here. Just eating some chippies, actually. Oh, goodness. Anyway, no, they haven't heard anything more from either Ironbark or Andiamo, the small cutter that went from Vavau to Fiji. So, yeah, there's still an investigation going on, over.
Alright, so what Ironbark heading towards is assessment confirmed, or what do you know about that, over?
Well, they didn't tell me. They said, hang on a minute, I'll just read the email. What they're trying to do is, hang on. Okay, we're still waiting for the, this is the first earlier one, hang on. They haven't got anything, and they are still trying to work out the route. So no, there is nothing fixed at the moment, over.
Okay, so the only thing we know for a fact that is I think they left a reply on the 19th, and then something or over.
Yep, that's all we've got at the moment. So But thank you for mentioning it, because if anybody is listening and you know anything about the direction that Ironbark or Andiamo might have taken, that would be very, very useful to try and piece together any bits of information. And the Andiamo is the one that left on the 3rd of October with Flo and David on board to go to Fiji, and Ironbark with Trevor on board was the one that left from the Harbours on the 19th of October. If anybody has any information about that, please contact one of the authorities, the RCC, anywhere convenient. That would be great. All right, and talking about Andiamo, we've got greetings from the other Andiamo, New Caledonia, who's transiting the Canal Wooden, Michael and his brother. Good evening to you guys, and I hear it's been a pretty reasonable day in New Caledonia. You were going to get southwest winds, I heard this morning, from a boat that's in the harbour there, and as you will have heard, Sahula has got a very, very light south-southwest wind, and they left today. Okay, is there anybody else? No, I think, I'd have to say Seawind had the most brilliant signal tonight. Amazing radio on Seawind. Not only goes fast, but it's got a good radio. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. We're looking out on the miserable, wet, damp night, but the wind is going down. So hopefully this confounded system will, well, it is still dumping a lot of wind in the Coromandel and Auckland area. Some roads are closed. So anyway, we'll just have to put up with it, and hopefully by Wednesday things might cheer up. Cheers everybody, have a good night. We are clear. If you want the frequency, it's yours.